Mercedes-Benz Marco Polo 250d Sport Long, rating geriatric road rage is alive and kicking. I know because I witnessed said phenomenon this week, between an elderly gentleman in a Volvo and another old chap on a mobility scooter. The chap in the Volvo was already plenty perplexed as had sent himself dizzy orbiting the village green for 10 minutes trying to find a parking space, to no avail. The fella on the scooter quietly crept into proceedings from stage right and came to a halt in the middle of the road to talk to an old gal he seemed to know. Mercedes has decided to throw its hat into the commercial ring of outdoor campfire fun. It's time to welcome the glamper van, or to be more precise, the Marco Polo Sport Long. Although Volvo man could easily have continued to drive around Scooter man, as he had done several times already, he became less and less willing to do so the longer his unsuccessful quest for a vacant berth went on. Eventually, a predictable impasse prevailed, horns were blasted, colourful language was exchanged and sides were taken. Meanwhile, subsequent well-meaning interventions from random passers-by served only to inflame an already hilariously incendiary situation. But why, I thought, these two gentlemen surely can't be in much of a hurry to go anywhere, and besides, there's nowhere around here to be in much of a hurry to go to. And then I got the look. Volvo man was staring dead square in my direction. I was next. Oh god, here we go. And what the bloody hell do you think you're doing, taking up so much space in a stupid thing like that, he frothed. Well, I didn't have the first clue what to say. For a start, the vehicle I was in wasn't actually mine in the first place. It was the subject of this week's review. What a piece of kit. Half limo, half contemporary New York hotel room. This really is something quite special. There's a double hob, a fridge and a sink and all the necessary storage units, which is why blurting out "just doing my job" so momentarily crossed my mind. As well as I have as much right to be here as anyone else. Both of which would almost certainly have fallen on deaf ears, as here was a man who could now only hear the sound of his own blood boiling as it coursed around his body. We all need to remember to stay calm. The world is not as mad and bad a place as some people would have us believe. Sure, there are mad and bad things going on, but there are billions more good souls than evil in the world, all looking to be positive and enjoy life while they can. Look at the rise in popularity of festivals and live events. If you run a successful one, there's rarely a day when the phone doesn't ring with some behemoth of entertainment on the other end of the line trying to buy it from you. It happens with us in Carfest all the time. All everyone really wants to do is enjoy themselves. Look at the pics of our most recent EXPM, Call Me Dave, getting down with his missus at the Wilderness Festival in Oxfordshire last weekend. He was having a old time of it all, fag in one hand, Jeremy Corbyn fan in the other. Mercedes certainly hasn't cut any corners when it comes to what might be required by a family of four committed to spending several days in a field, whatever the weather on with. All us midults and kidults gagging to get all al fresco at the weekend come countless opportunities to make an extra buck. Glamping, for example, has exploded over the past decade, when Glastonbury starts to offer you a pre-pitched tent, teepee or yurt, complete with private hot tub, bubbling away, lit up and ready to go. You know things are getting seriously lucrative. Which, I presume, is the reason Mercedes has decided to throw its hat into the commercial ring of outdoor campfire fun. After the glittering renaissance of the camper van and all that goes with it, it's time to welcome the glamper van, or to be more precise, the Marco Polo Sport Long. What a piece of kit. Half limo, half contemporary New York hotel room. This really is something quite special. Picture the looks on people's faces and the comments they might mutter should you dare to rock up to your campsite in a bus that looks like it's just picked up an A-list celebrity from the private jet terminal at Farnborough Airport. Classy and elegant, it's full of leather and carbon fiber. There are semi-electrically adjustable seats all round, the ones in the front can even spin round to form a cozy ensemble for four. It's classy, it's elegant, it's full of leather and carbon fiber. Your own mini rockstar tour bus for your own mini rock roll adventure. It's long by name and long by nature, a mass of black privacy glass flanking either side with yet more at the rear. To see and not be seen seems to be the overriding message. It's wide too, which begs the question, where on earth would you store it and what would you do with it once the light nights start drawing in and the curtain comes down on the festival season till next year? But hey, what am I talking about? That's all to do with practicality and common sense. This is a super luxury motor, surplus to everyday requirements but a right laugh regardless. Mercedes certainly hasn't cut any corners when it comes to what might be required by a family of four committed to spending several days in a field, whatever the weather. There's a double hob, a fridge and a sink surrounded by all the necessary storage units that look so much more modern than those found in most camper vans, although nowhere near as charming and gay. I've never loved driving any van more than I did this. This is a beast, with its 190 horsepower, 7 silky smooth gears. While all the time staring out across a super stylish Mercedes signature dash, there are semi-electrically adjustable seats all round. The ones in the front can even spin round to form a cozy ensemble for 4 guests facing each other around the superbly engineered fold-down table. Then there's the de rigueur elevating roof and the mood lighting. It's got it all. And when it comes to driving, one could easily be forgiven for thinking there's a whole heap more under the bonnet than merely a 2.1-litre 4-cylinder diesel lump. I love the driving position high up in a van, but I've never loved driving any van more than I did this. Not even my own beloved VW T5 named Bus, with which we reluctantly parted company last year, priced £62,110, engine 2.1-litre diesel, gearbox 7-speed auto, power 190 horsepower, 060 mph, 9.8 seconds, top speed 129 miles per hour, fuel economy 44.8 mpg, first year road tax £500. This is a beast by comparison, with its 190 horsepower, 7 silky smooth gears, auto, a flappy paddle, even sport mode if you like. The choice is yours. While all the time staring out across yet another extremely grown-up, although a bit too grown-up for some, perhaps super stylish Mercedes signature dash. Handling well, it's a van, so quite van-like. Surprise, surprise, the same going for the brakes. The ride, however, is relatively smooth and quiet for such a leisure craft. Often the cavernous shell behind the driver in such boxes on wheels acts as a huge amplifier for all things on board, capable of clattering, clanging, pinging and smashing, but not here. This is a different kettle of fish altogether. Did I like it? No, I loved it. Yet I still wanted more. I wanted more color, more charm, more friendliness, more festival. But that's just me. There's no doubt this vehicle has a cool of its own. Perhaps it's aimed more at the Guards Polo Massive than my pals and me at Glasgow and Carfest. Still, there's no argument. This is a sparkling curveball that more than deserves its right to a pitch in the summer playpen. Coming to a campsite near you soon, then. Act Young.